Hello, happy Saturday. It's been a while since I jumped on a stream with all of you guys. And here I am Saturday. I'm going to jump on to a quick week in review, video. I had some success this week. I had a success this last couple weeks. Little clumsiness. It's always there for me. It will get better. Some success longing on the way up through CPI, the inflation data. And having had success trading CPI, I decided I'm going to take some suggestion from some of the OGs and I'm going to sit out for FOMC. FOMC drove price exactly where I wanted it to go in order to short this range. I'm feeling sorry for myself not having got into the short. I had been waiting since November 22nd, almost one full month was waiting to short that, and I sat out. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's see where I did good. Let's see where I did bad. Let's see what kind of ugly stuff I got myself into. It wouldn't have been a complete week of trading for PJ if I hadn't made some dumb mistakes. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's start off where things went good. I'm going to go back a little further than just this last week because I think it's important or of value to look at the longs on the way up. Why did I do it? Why might you want to do it? Let me take a look. Let's take a look over here. We've got the Bitcoin chart up. You can see these are some of the longs that I took on the way up here. Here's on the 12-hour, right? The biggest indication of strength, of headed in the long direction as we came, and we had this swing low, this swing high, came down, swing low, swing high, swing fail down here on the higher time frame chart. You get it on the daily. Right, swing failures on the higher time frame. That's normally an indication that we're headed in the other direction, and we had this beautiful swing low, swing high. When we swing fail one side, swing low, swing high, swing fail, it is almost always good to trade to the other side of it. From my, I guess you could say, medium trading experience, that is something I always look for. So when we swing failed this low right here, when we swing failed right here, I'm looking for longs. You could have just longed that swing fail there up to where, I didn't stay in this trade as long as I should have. I really should have just opened this trade and just left it go. I have more than one account. The reason I have one account is because I like to trade them a little differently. I neglected some of my other accounts. I should have traded one a certain way and another a certain way, but I was just trading the one. And this is what trading the one account looked like on Bitcoin. So jumping to, let's see, if there's more I can say. So this, on the 12-hour, there's, let's see. There was, I think there was some weekly reasons, right? You're not going to be able to see that back far. The blue line's last week's range. Yellow line is the previous week's high and low, right? So I've deleted some of that, so you won't see all of that reasoning on this time frame. It'll make more sense when we get to the more recent trades. So I don't know. Here was the entrance for, so this one, the main indication of to enter the trade was the swing fail down here on the higher time frame. Enter there. I just took it to there. Realistically, there's no reason. Trading it up to here would have been the move, but I didn't. I believe this is what I did. I took some profits there. I can take a look and see what it was that I actually did. So there's a Bitcoin long, 90, Bitcoin long, $16. So that might have even been that was a few weeks ago. I'm not quite sure. Entry 16,150. Oh, that was here. So anyways, this is an old trade. We're just going to move on. But here, what happened here? Swing fail. Ultimately, we had a break in market structure here, which was a bearish sign, right? Here's a high, We blasted through that high, the high that led to the low that swept. So this was indication that we're going up higher. So I think I snagged some here. More importantly is I was able to get in on these pullbacks on the way up. Moving on to this one here. The entry for this trade here, swing fail of this right here, down into, well, I'm going to delete these as I go, down into a fair value gap that was sitting right here. Now, why was it the fair value gap that was of interest versus all the way down to the order block sitting below? Is what I like to see is I like to see a swing fail of a low, right? Liquidity, take some liquidity is what they call it. There's maybe some stops sitting right below here. I like to see a swing fail into an area of interest. Now, this fair value gap is sitting higher than this consolidation right here. This breaker, we could also draw onto this breaker right here, right? Similar setup, but I like to see a swing fail of a low into an area of resistance. So, and then also we got this lower time frame swing fail on this entry. So right here, swing fail. Now we go down to the 1 hour chart. And my entry was actually, I drew these on here later. My entry was actually a little bit lower here. I actually got even like down a little bit lower on that because what I was doing is, no, that's the wrong one. All right here. So I said if we swing fail that line, I'm in. So, all right, one more here, over here. So here was the entry, right? So we swing failed this low. And then what I was looking for, we can get this out of the way, but what I was looking for was a swing fail of this low right here. So what we got is like I look for this fractal all the time. I really like this one. I like this one a lot. Is where we have one swing fail. We swing failed this level here, took out that liquidity. A low, swing failed it here. Then we had a move up, right? And then we swing failed another. So swing fail to swing fail, right? Possibly even 3 swing fails right in a row that led us to the upside. I traded it right to the mid of that bigger range. That's where I took profit. Was happy with that. That was a good trade. But so swing fail into area of interest. This case was a fair value gap, swing fail. I didn't get in on this one. I would have loved to get in here, but then I did get in on this one, which was still a good entry. If we go down yet to a smaller time frame, we will see that there is, you'll see that here it is, here's the high that led to the sweep. So this was a break in market structure right here. You'll see me draw those often with yellow lines, but here it is, the break in market structure, sweep, break in market structure. Now, this would have been a reasonable entry, but to get more confirmation, to get the swing fail of that low right there, that was the money entry. I think I actually entered it down here, stop below there, and then there we are on the way up, right? Something that I'll jump into that is just very interesting. I use Spaceman BTC's indicators that are quite advanced indicators compared to a lot of what I use, and I'm just getting to learn. He's got something called the Delta Singularity, Delta Print Singularity, which these, even though it doesn't look like it, these are volume profiles per each candle. And the yellow is the most volume. So just the same as you'll see me use volume NPOCs, time NPOCs, right? These are all volume profiles. On the 12 hour, you can't see it very well. But so these are all volume profiles that are based on X amount of time that give me these teal and POC lines. Now this delta print singularity tool is a volume profile. It is red if there was more selling, it is green if there's more buying, and then it also gives a yellow high density volume. Where was the most volume traded? So now you see a candle like this move up. If there's I'm still figuring it all out, but some of these you can help identify impulse moves by there being high candles with lots of buying pushing it higher still. Now this isn't to be confused with where you'll get swing fails. Here's the body of the candle, a swing fail with a high volume above the swing, above the body of the candle. Now this leads to a lot of longers who need to puke their positions, causing momentum down. Now that is different if we're impulse. This shows strength up. Now these guys here don't necessarily need to puke their positions because we didn't dump after this. Because we didn't dump, this is a lot of buyers. It's showing strength in this way up. I'm not a professional with that indicator yet, but it's something else I plan to use in my tools to identify where there's a lot of people who will need to puke their positions, or where there's a lot of strength, or where a lot of liquidity has been swept. Sweep that liquidity, head in the other direction, get on top of that, ride that horse, make some money. So boom, this trade, got this trade. That's how this one went. We're done. We're over it. Keep the chart clean. Next trade. So here we had, there's a Monday's range in here that made some sense, but most importantly is we came down. We swing failed at this level here. Same setup. Swing fail. Swing fail. 2 swing fails in a row. Here we had the same thing. If we pull it to the 1 hour. Swing failed this low. Swing failed that low right there. Came up, gave us another low. We swept that liquidity there. And if you take a look, I bet if we pull up that delta print singularity, so here we saw some momentum to the upside in that candle there. But we swing failed, right? Swept the liquidity and off on our way. Another real simple tool that I just started playing around with it is Trader XO macro trend scanner. You know, like, yeah, there's some confusing areas in here, but there was a lot of opportunities to just trade based off of this one indicator in here that would have yielded you some solid trades. Open short, close short, open long, close long, open short, right? Open long, close. I don't know. We're going to see if I can get this indicator to work. It uses EMAs and EMA crosses, and there's a way you actually get the stock ROI in there. So, but let's get off of that and let's get back to the trades. This was my entry here. I said if we swing fail this right here, I'm in. Boom. I wrote it up to here. I think about here. Why did I close it here? I closed it, I believe, at the monthly open. So I think I closed it right there. I'm not sure. I also, there's another trade in here. I also longed from here to here, or long from here to here. I didn't short off the rejection of the weekly open. I didn't short that, but I longed here. So I forgot one that was in here, something like that. So just a nice little scalper right there. So this one, same entry as this, same style thing we've got going on. You know, on this one, if we go down to the let's just get rid of the long. If we go down to the 15-minute, again, 15-minute is good for identifying some breaks in market structure. Here we are, right? So here we had was looking for this to be swept. Then we had the high that swept the low, the high that swept the low, broken market structure. So if you didn't enter here, which I entered, I got excited when it paid off. But here is where your entry would be here, right? The high that swept the lows, and then you come up, you impulse move through that. Right, so you impulse moved through it, and with momentum, and then you entered here. So that was that entry. A lot of people got really short right here. Triple tap. I was mad at myself for not getting short there, which would have been good. And I was mad at myself for not getting short here. On the higher time frame, it for sure gave you reasons to get short right there. I say higher time frame, the 1 hour, right? Swept the highs, you know, and you could even entered here the break in market structure, the down that led to the up that swept the highs. This was a good short opportunity right here. The down before the high, the up that swept the highs, broke market structure, came back and retested. Boom, came down, traded it again to the mid of the higher time frame range. Had the exact same thing happen right here. And this kind of like, we didn't, right here would have been an entry stop up there, but like the down that swept the highs with the break in market structure here, you short that. So I have a trading bot that I got through SMFX, Project Fngo, that trades that structure for me on the side. So even when I miss them, in general, I'm making some money without doing anything, which is cool because it trades better than I trade. But I don't want to rely completely on that. So let's get into it. This was a frustrating spot for me. Right over here, let's jump to ETH. Right over here, I was in it down here. I was in it. I'm like, I'm longing this. I had reasons to long this right here. There's a little sweep on the lower time frame right here. I'm in. And then I one of my paid discords I'm in, he's like, oh, I'm closing my longs, too much confluence to the downside, and I closed out, and I was so angry because this was an awesome trade. I didn't get back in ETH, but here was the re-entry. So the up that swept the downs, this is the sweep right here, right? We broke market structure there. This was an impulse move. This was an impulse move. You know, anyways, impulse moves. Still figuring out how to identify that using delta print singularity, but that's all right. It's confluence. Let's see. There's another tool that you can use to help identify change in momentum. Here's the volume delta. It's a free Spaceman BTC. You go volume delta as Spaceman BTC, then you go change the settings to delta, and then sometimes you'll be able to identify that when the down candles actually show green, like this one right here, when the down candles show green, these right here, that one right there, this one right here, right? Yeah, this one right here. So this is the example, a good example of this. is, let's go ahead and make it nice and wide so you can see. So this was that sweep right here. And even though it was a black candle for me or a red candle for you, all of these right here, down candle, but the volume, there was more buying than there was selling. Same with that one right there. That one right there. There's more buying than there was selling. But that one right there, more buying than selling. That's the sweep. We closed into back above. We swept. We just tested the weekly open. We tested the mid of last week's range right here. Closed up here. Super strength. Let's fucking go. Off to the moon. I didn't trade it on ETH, but I did have a nice fat long right here on Bitcoin. Same thing down into the weekly open, right? The weekly open, and then the mid of that range. I loaded up here, and I went all the way up. I closed it right at 17,900 or something like that. You know, it was safe to let it go up to here, but with just this giant CPI candle, I was just, I didn't want it to full retrace, so I closed there. Now here we are. We're going to delete that one. Here we are. Delete some of this. So here we are into FOMC. Right here is FOMC. Right here, we stair stepped it. We crept up, cleared the high here. I've been waiting for that since November 22nd. We cleared that, and I said, I am not going to trade FOMC, but like right here, my best trade to date was, was the same thing right here. Is I saw this creep up, I shorted right there, fake out. Yeah, fake out, Sunday night fake out, boom, shorted that, and I wrote it all the way down, not all the way down to here, but down to here. Same thing here, nice fake out. If you looked at ES, fake out. But I'm mad that I didn't trade it, but okay, it's like whatever. I still made about 20% on my account this week. But so yeah, traded that up. Right. So what was the indicators to trade this is we had the mids of the Monday range, the weekly open, and then these look like impulse candles to me. This looked like an impulse move. On the 4 hour, it wasn't as clear. But here on the 1 hour, the high, we broke market structure there. The high that led to the low, you actually had it on, if you went to the 15-minute, you actually had it way down here. Here's the high that led to the low. There's the sweep. Right there was an entry. Right here was an entry. And there you go, right? So we broke this market structure. We got above the weekly open again. This was my sign to look for some longs. And off we went. Oh, there was also on Bitcoin, it was really clear to me on the 12-hour. Really clear. I love the 12-hour for identifying this type of stuff. But so here we are on the 12-hour, and we had, let's go to a different chart that I can mark up. Here on the 12-hour, we had we had this area of support right here. We had this area of support that I had marked out. That had there it is, right? That was also the weekly open, I think. But so I saw this area of support. If we were going to reject, we closed above it. We closed above this, and look, so we were sitting on top of it, dumped below, but we closed above it. So now we're back in business for this direction. Came back down, boom, right there, hit your long, and then go for a ride. All right, and then just me starting to get reckless now that I missed that short. Came in here, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a long retrace. I got in a long right here, and I here on the 1 hour. So I got in a long right here on the sweep of that low. Got in a long, and I don't know, I closed it out for like just a little bit of money. I longed it. When this by this range theory that you saw in the big green one, you remember the swing low to the swing high is that. So it's always good, right? So I longed right here. This is the range: swing low, swing high, swing failed to lower the range, and then so this should have been the trade. But I wanted to go to bed. I knew I was getting reckless. I just pulled some money out. But that was the trade right there. You're almost always good. Swing low, swing high, swing fail to low. You're good to the other side. That's a very, very, very valuable skill, pattern recognition skill to have. It fucking works often. It works often. You know, here's another one, right? So swing low, swing high, swing low to swing high. That's swing low, swing high, swing fail to low. So you long that right here with a take profit right up here. Like these happen all the time. If you want to sit in front of your computer all day long, whatever, and watch for this pattern right here: swing low, swing high, swing fail to low, and then up to the other side, take profit right there, and you're good. And then you can even go and do the opposite. Now, where's the liquidity? The liquidity is actually down here on this time, right? There's a trade, right? But you can look at the higher time frame, sweep of the highs, sweep of the highs. This trade actually would have been, and you were actually up against last week's. They're not drawn in here, but there's some more last week's. There's some other. Well, whatever. So we trade it down. You could have traded it to that liquidity, or you could have whatever. But that's the entry, right? Is swing of a high, swing fail, to the other side of the range. It's a good trade. Check it out. Look for that pattern. It's very worthwhile. All right, so we have some NPOCs sitting up here. So it's Saturday. I'm not in any trades. What am I looking for, though, without getting too much into tomorrow's video, is I am looking for something similar as to that same pattern that I just talked about is I'm looking for some sort of range to form. Let's say that this is L. Let's say that's we're gonna sweep into this here. I don't know. Maybe we come up. Maybe we test the mid of that big range again. So I'm looking for some sort of range to form here. You know what? That's probably gonna be it. You know, we got this little swing failure here, but we didn't break market structure downside. This might just be a little bull flag, but something like this, I'm looking for that. And I'm ultimately looking for an opportunity to get in is for us to trace down other side here, sweep this, breaking market structure and up. That's what I'm looking for. Potentially on the breaker, right? There's a few reasons, and I'm gonna go more into detail in this tomorrow. Let's see here, the H12 breaker. We tested that, went in this fair value gap. We've cleared this fair value gap now, which is right here to right here. So we've taken the fair value gap, but we already tested it last time. So I'm looking either this H12 breaker for a long or this order block here, right? Both kind of fit in the same spot. This range, sweep that low, and then up. You don't ever have to get too excited. And something I find myself doing is that I get all excited wanting, all right, here, we're going to turn around, right? Like never, hardly ever does price just go like, okay, we're down, now we're back up, right? It's, you always get some sort of down, up, sweep of the low. It's like a retest. Otherwise it's going to go down more, but you go down. Okay, so hey, we're going up. No, I'm missing out. You're not missing out. Hang tight. Look for this swing failure right here. And if you want to long that. So just the same as I snagged this little bit of a long here, right? Is that's what I'm going to be looking for here, except maybe looking to hold on to it up into these NPOCs. Something like that into this H12 order block. Well, this is the breaker, the order block. It's going to be the same area right here. So, and then this is also that discount area, Sniper's Alley, they call it. Is this 0.687 to 0.786? We'll see. Could even come down, take that liquidity there, and then maybe move up, because the down before the up that breaks market structure, if we switch over to a daily, then this becomes our down before the up. That didn't work. The down before the up that breaks market structure. Actually, it was this. Well, this is the down. So yeah, the down before the up that breaks market structure. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if we don't come down lower here, but I'm going to be looking for a reversal pattern to be ready for that if we do. Okay, so that was a lot of the good. What about the bad? We got a little bit more good. Let's go over to Algorand. I got excited. I thought that a sweep of this low meant something. We didn't get the swing fail. It wasn't a very good swing fail on the weekly. I thought a sweep of that low was going to be some magic for Algorand. I also saw that some banks are going to start using Algorand. So I don't know. I got excited. I was trying to do a swing long. Here we are. We're way down. We swept this low here. So that's kind of good news. We swept that low down here. How much more did we sweep? Did we sweep? Come on. Did we? So we swept that. There it is. So we swept some things. This pink range is a monthly. This monthly order block right here, the down before the up, that broke. Well, maybe it didn't. It didn't. Whatever. Or here's a monthly consolidation zone. That's where that pink range comes from. So I longed in here. Good long, a sweep of those lows. I mean, you know, I didn't play this range right. I'm in like open some trades. I opened some trades and round tripped them. Round tripping altcoins was what my video about was last week on Saturday, but so over here, swing fail of that low. I longed that, came up here, and I actually took profits right before FOMC on this one. Took profits up here, and was glad I did because then it dumped. But then I was holding on, so this was a good trade. Glad I took some profits there. So what did I do wrong? I was focusing on this lower time frame, and here I am. It said, okay, we have a sweep of these lows. So I took profit here on my original long. We have a sweep of these lows. I'm like, right on. Let's see what happens. Okay, so then we had a break in market structure. I'm saying this looked like an impulse move, and then I longed it here, and then you know I didn't have a stop loss set, and well, normally I don't know. I just was overly optimistic. I rode this all the way down here, and I lost all the profits from that previous long. And even then, right, I was like, oh no, maybe here we have a sweep of that low. Maybe we're headed. No, it just dumped. But like, where did I go wrong? Is take a look at the H4 and like glaring at the bottom of this range here. I thought we were gonna reclaim. We didn't. Here, I like, let's take this. Let's make this nice and bright. Size 4, like look at that, just it was a liquidity sweep to the upside. I, in my silly brain, looking at the lower time frame, called this is not an impulse move right here. And what makes matters worse is that you can see the NPOC of this move because other people tried to long this up. The volume of this candle was all here as if it was like a breakout move. So what happens when there's too many buyers up here is they all have to puke, and then everybody who longed here has to puke, and basically anybody who got long in here is all puking their brains out, and then we get freaking lows all the way down to 18. So I had exhausted myself by this point in the week. Haven't seen this dump. If I was on top of my shit, a dump to a sweep there, break in market structure here. Boom, long that would have been worth something. Do I think that we come down and re-sweep these lows? I think we might, but that still would have been somewhat of a solid trade, probably trading up into here. But keep in mind, we have this pink range, the pink range there that needs that might be resistance. But the way that I see this moving right now, yeah, we got some equal highs. We sweep it at least up to sweep those equal highs. So I don't know. I might be done trading altcoins. It's like would be cool. Like, oh, I caught the bottom on Algorand. But like I don't know. To be honest, I got kind of like wrecked. Like trying to trade this. I don't know. Trade it with emotion rather than trading to I was able to see what I needed to see, but I didn't trade what I needed to trade. Like I had these equal lows marked out on here, but then I'm like dumb enough to go and ride a trade from here, not take profit on this sweep to round trip it. So I don't know. I saw what was gonna happen, but I allowed my moon boy childlike whatever it is, whatever. So I want to try to focus more on Bitcoin so I don't get distracted from the good moves. So I wrecked myself. I'll go. The only other trade that I took this week was on the ES, and it was a killer of a trade. Despite being afraid of these equal lows down here, I didn't believe this. This was too much of a stair step down in order to be the top. I didn't believe that, even though we have that high time frame trend line. I didn't believe it. And where did we go on this? Like the 100-week moving average, we went up right up there. We swept this high, even though we just barely swept it. But I caught it up, but I did not catch it down. But here, so we had, what did we have here? And I actually longed this down here because we had the up that swept the lows. So I think I actually longed that there. Probably almost got stopped out. I think I almost got stopped out, but I didn't because I think I entered like here based on that up that swept market. It looked to me like an impulse move. Either that or I entered here on this one. Not sure, but I sat tight and that was a really good trade for me. But so like I didn't, and I exited, I think right up there. It was, I manually exited. I didn't have to take profit, but like I saw it sweep that liquidity and I exited it, but I didn't take the short. And I'm sure I didn't get it right there at the top because if you look on the 1 minute, even though I was watching it happen, so maybe I got pretty good. I'd have to look. I posted it to my Telegram. But if you look at the 1 minute, there was like less than 1 minute that it spent up there. So mad at myself for but look at that, you can't. And then I mad at myself for not catching it and it's moved down. I don't know. FOMC, it threw me off. I'm not a very experienced trader. But it, geez, perfect 3-tap. I don't know. The whole thing was good to short it. Didn't short it. Didn't short Bitcoin. It didn't short Ethereum. ETH, and I guess I'm getting into my content that's supposed to be for tomorrow, but we have these equal lows on ETH right here. I feel like that needs to be swept. So what I'm looking for on ETH is sweep these equal lows, right? And while we're doing that, we're going to end up with a range that's something like this. And I'm going to look for this to come down, sweep last week's, 2 weeks ago's low, the equal lows, sweep those, swing fail up here, and then long up to some of these NPOCs we have sitting above. Such beautiful opportunities to sweep or to short. Look at this, just like the double swing fail right here. You don't see stuff so pretty so often. Sweep of that high. Here it is, sweep of that high. Like, I allowed FOMC to like punk me out of this, but like, boom, right there is your trade. God, so sad. Wherever you ended up closing it out, but if you took it all the way down to here on a 1% risk, that would have been $2,000 on 10,000. So 21 RR, but whatever. I don't know. I've had some good 22, 23 Rs. It's like catching big fish. If you're into fishing, that's what this is. It's like fishing. And you get so disappointed when you got that, you planned your fishing trip and there you are, you got that big fish up to the boat. It's like a fucking whopper. And it comes off the hook. That's what this feels like, is having a big fish, having a fishing trip planned out, having that big fish up to the boat, and or whatever. It's what it is. All right, I'm gonna leave it at this. I don't have anything else to say about these. I don't have anything left to say about last week. Oh, hey, what I am gonna say is I'm spending some time this weekend to draw up a per trader Dante, per Abe trade, per trader XO. Let me see if I can find it. Right here is it's a trading manual. You write your own trading manual. Done with my trading plan for the next year. If you don't have one of these things, I highly recommend you have one. I did my first one years ago after watching Trader Dante webinar, where besides him telling you repeatedly you're a cunt, he shares his journal, his own journal as well, right? So I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna make some money. Hopefully I'll be able to help some of you guys make some money. That being said, is if you don't want to listen to me, plug in Trader Main, Trader Dante. If you want the tactical get Abe trades blueprint, his boot camp, if you have time, the blueprint. I'm learning that shit. Valuable information. Cold Blood Shield, Trader XO, Trader Main, Crypto Chase, SMFX. Those are the guys I learned from. So there's nothing you're gonna. Well, there's a little bit you might learn from me that you might not learn from them. But if you like them, if you don't like me, or you want someone who's a little more experienced than me, check it out. Check them out. And let's fucking go. I am profitable in doing this, and I only plan to get more skilled, more profitable. You guys have yourself a good rest of your night. Happy if you joined me. No worries if you didn't. I'm learning by doing this. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the weekly plan.